some important concepts that help us to move towards productivity, move us towards growth, move us towards favor and promotion. I want you to know that good things are coming your way. And today I'm going to kind of talk about the concepts of being consistent and available. Consistent and available. And when I think of those two words, I think of the concept of making your gifts available, making your talents available, making your time available, and even at certain times, making your money available, to the people that you love, because there's just so much great satisfaction in it. And if I could just be a little in the moment right now, maybe it doesn't really fit to the generic kind of a style of this kind of a broadcast, but we just finished hosting the rabbis and Jewish leaders from around New York City, as well as some Christian leaders from around New York City, right here in our space in New York. We're in Lower Manhattan, and it was really a powerful message. It was a powerful message about how important the Jewish people are to all of us, of all the contributions that the Jewish people have made in the areas of faith, for sure. They've given us the Jewish scriptures. They even gave us Jesus, which is pretty cool. Jesus was Jewish, if you didn't know that. It's very important that you think about that and you consider his roots that way. So I always, think about what I can do. So we have a space in Lower Manhattan, and so we just hosted. We made it available. We made it available for free, and we've been doing this every time they ask for 20 years. That's called consistency. But then the other part is, it's called availability. As an old athlete, I'd always want to, be ready to be put in the game. I wasn't always a first stringer, but I was always ready. And when they put me in, it was hard to get me out, because I was going to do my very best to play within myself, but also to give my absolute best. And so when I say available, I don't mean partially available. I mean fully available. When I was a little boy, my parents would always go to my grandparents' house in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they would have gatherings almost every Saturday, and we'd get together in the garage and we'd play games outside. There was an old lawn dart game called Jarts, and we'd play cards, and we'd play, and then we'd sing and we'd dance, and we would just be together, our Irish Catholic family, and we would just hang out in the garage. But this one particular Sunday, I was maybe 11 or 12 years old, and I had made some friends in the neighborhood, and I wanted to go to the park and play some baseball. So I grabbed my glove and a ball and a bat, and I was, sneaking out to go play for a while, because I knew my parents were going to be there for a while. So I said, I'm going to sneak out. But my grandmother saw me going, and she said, "You can't go until you sing, Danny." And I said, "I don't want to sing. I want to go play baseball." She looked at me and she said, "No, you really can't go until you sing my favorite song, And I said, "Come on, Grandma." She grabbed me by the ear, and with her beautiful blue eyes, she looked me in the face and she said, "Danny, you have to understand something. Your voice isn't just yours. It belongs to the family. Your voice belongs to the family. And when I ask you to sing, I really want you to sing. And it's not just for you, it belongs to all of us." And so that kind of stuck with me in my life, because so many of us are inconsistent, and so many of us, even myself on a regular basis, and we're unavailable. We don't feel like we have any kind of duty or obligation to show up and be ready to actually not only participate, but to improve the quality of the gathering, improve the quality of the conversation, improve the quality of the impartation. We just get together and we just kind of don't really put our heart and soul into the interaction, and we all leave the same way that we came. We don't leave better. We don't leave stronger. We don't leave comforted. We don't leave edified, built up. And so I've learned this over the years, that if I would just be consistent, be where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there, whether that was practice for baseball growing up, or music rehearsal, or school, or then work, being there. And being consistent helped, because especially when you're leading teams, like I used to lead teams in commodities trading, if I wasn't showing up, the other guys are still getting paid by me, and I better be there, and I better be there consistently. And when I get there, I need to be fully prepared to give my all, to be available, to be really in the moment and very present, and to be on my game, so to speak, to be really available. And so I try to convey that to people on a regular basis, that it's not just a throwaway thing for you to be here. It's always important for you to be where you're supposed to be. And no matter who I engage with, I always tell them, it's important that you're here, but really be here. Have a conversation, encourage somebody, listen carefully, listen for ways that you can help. Listen for ways that you can help. Today, just between you and me, since I'm kind of just talking about today, there were needs in the congregation. One of my good friends lost her mom this week, and so she's by herself. Her brother's gone home to be with the Lord. Her dad's gone, and her mom died. And so it just was a couple days ago, and she needs somebody to be consistent and available. Now, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. I've got my daughter coming down. I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and she needs me to be there for the wake. I want to be with my daughter, and I want to be there with my grandson. To do what? To play for me. But as in the role that I have been given, and in the role that I have chosen, I just need to be there. And I need to be there consistently, because that'll send a message to everybody that I serve, everybody in my congregation, that I am going to be there. I don't want to send the message that I'm going to pick and choose who I want to be there for. So that's a part of consistency. It's part of, to be consistent is, another word for it might be faithful. Faithful. To be true to your word, to make the sacrifices, not always doing what you want to do, and then showing up for people. Just really showing up for people. And so, being consistent means being faithful. So you can extrapolate that into your marriage, you can extrapolate that into your relationship with your children, your parents, your friends. You want to be consistent for them. You want to be consistent for them. And then you want to be not just kind of like heartbeat, hanging out, consistent, but available. How can I help? I want to be here to make the load lighter. I want to be here to truly engage and get you to engage, to bring out your best as you bring out my best. And that's what I mean by consistent, by being faithful, and by being available. And I want to come back to that other piece that I was talking about, when my grandma said to me, your gift belongs to the family. Well, your gift, you may feel like it's buried. You may feel like you don't even have one, but you do. And there's a family of people. There's a community out here. There's all of humanity that needs you to show up and make your supply available, to truly bring it, and make sure that you're there, that you're not hungover, that you're not tired, but that you've prepared to be consistent, and that you're prepared to be available, because your gift, your talent, your time, your treasure doesn't belong just to you. And you can have a far greater impact. You may say, well, I don't have a lot of money, and I'm working all the time. I don't have a lot of time. That's all right, but you can listen, and you can love, and you can encourage, and you can bring your life experience and share. And so being there, and then being fully available, and understanding that you have something powerful and wonderful to give. So many of us just have learned by going to baseball games or by watching a lot of TV, we've taught ourselves that life is observing. I'm going to go look at the Grand Canyon, or I'm going to go look at the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty. And we've taught ourselves that it's just about looking at stuff. It's not really thinking about people and how we can be consistent and available to affect the lives of people. And it's just such a rich kind of a revelation, because once you make it, then people, believe it or not, want to be around you, because every time they leave you, they leave encouraged. They leave a little lighter. They leave with maybe a piece of their burden or their pain has been lifted in some way. And all that begins with is just you making the choice that you're valuable, that your gift has true worth, and that you're going to bring it, and that you're going to participate. Now, I know we've all been rejected. We've all been, made fun of. Don't worry about that. You're going to find a group of people. You're going to find maybe a small group, maybe a large group, but you're going to find people that are going to find you wonderful. They're going to find you to be just what they needed, especially if you kind of, smile a little bit. Look your best. Spruce up. Hey, you can only look as good as you can look. I mean, I'm going to be 65 this summer, and, I'm looking the best that I can, but I'm going to show up, and I'm not going to let the way that I look inhibit me from, mixing it up, having a conversation, telling a joke, bringing a little levity, bringing a little bit of lightness and fun into a world where most people are struggling, most people are in pain. And if I can, help somebody by pointing them in the right direction, or if I can help somebody by giving them something to help them, then I'm going to do it, because that's making my supply available. And I think it's important that you think about those things: consistency, faithful, making your supply fully available, preparing to be available, preparing to really go into a setting, not like, hey, what's going to happen there? I mean, I wonder what's going to happen, but rather, I'm going to have a great conversation. I'm going to get to talk to my sister, or I'm going to get to talk to my mom, or I'm going to get to talk. But when I do, I want to really listen and ask them how they are and be there for them. And at first, maybe it might be awkward, and that's where the consistent comes in. You want to do it every time. You want to say, let them get used to it so that they can prepare. Because so many people don't think like this. They're not as intentional as they need to be. And because they're not intentional, they don't have as much impact as they could. I want to go somewhere today, spend some time with people, have a conversation that is edifying, that's uplifting, that builds. I might learn something, I might impart something. I always learn. It's great. And when I do, good things happen. And so I just want to encourage you today, just think about where you're going to go this week. It's Memorial Day weekend. Think about where you're going to go, what are you going to do, who you're going to see, who you're going to talk to, and then bring yourself, bring your personality, bring your sense of humor, and then, participate, and you'll find out over time if you bring it and you get rejected. If you bring it every time, you'll start to notice where you're really celebrated and not just tolerated, where people are really appreciating you and love having you around. And so just continually do it. Don't go places where people don't bring out the best of you, or they don't allow you to bring out the best in them. Just don't do it. Life is short, man. You want to have an impact, and you want to have fun. So consistency and availability were my thoughts today. Faithfulness, and really bringing your best, because your best doesn't belong just to you. It belongs to all of us. So bring it. Thanks for listening to Morning Motivations with Dan Stratton. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. And I hope you'll ask questions or make a comment, participate in some way. Come see me in New York sometime. Love to see you. God bless. Have a good night. See ya. Well, actually, have a good morning because you're going to listen to this in the morning. Bye-bye.